Hello. Welcome to our Naruto video. What's going on? I can't do this. Okay, so apart from that, my boyfriend actually got that for our 1-year anniversary for me. So if that tells you anything, yeah. I've actually tried to film this video before, but I was just rambling and it didn't make any sense, and I was like, nah, we're gonna save this for a different day. And today is that day, so welcome. So today I'm going to be doing my top 10 list of Naruto characters, and I'm going to say that these are similarly to my villain tier list. They are in no order of like good or bad characters. It's because I like them, and they're evil characters or the villain characters and the good characters. They're all mixed in here. So I'm gonna start off with some honorable mentions because they didn't quite make the list, but I thought they were important to mention. So those honorable mentions are Minato, Namikaze, Shino Aburame, and Deidara and Sasori, which are kind of like a package deal because in the first arc of Shippuden they were like the pair. So I really liked them, and I really like Deidara mostly as a character, and Sasori just had good rapport, I guess. I don't know. They were just good villains in my opinion. Also, Shino, I feel like doesn't get enough credit for everything that he does, especially in Boruto when he's like their teacher. Like, he's doing the most important job, you guys. I don't think you understand that. And then Minato is Naruto's dad. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but I thought he was a really cool character, and I wish we would have gotten more on him because he's one of those anime guys that you just kind of have a crush on for no reason, so... Anyway, jumping into the top 10 list. And I'm gonna disclaimer, Naruto is not on this list. It's not like my favorite character. He grew on me a lot when he got older and like started to take things more seriously, and he like really cares about everybody. I like him as a character, but he's just like not my favorite. Like, he could be on this top 10 list. He easily could be number 1, but it just seems like kind of meta to put the main character in your top 10 list. So putting him in his own box by himself, these are the top 10 characters outside of him, because I really do like him as a character and I like his growth, but he doesn't need to be in this list. Because if you don't like him by the end, like, what's the point of even watching it? I'm down. Anyway, number 10, Sakura Haruno, because she is a strong female character. Kind of. Actually, she's not real. I take that back. In the first, like, when they're young, the Jump series, she is awful. She's annoying. She doesn't do anything, and I don't like her. As she grows up, she, like, kind of comes into her own thing and starts doing, like, medical ninjutsu, and, like, she paves the way for herself, but it still is all about Sasuke. But also, in Boruto, can we talk about how she's kind of, like, a strong single mom, even though Sasuke is her child's dad. Spoilers. Sasuke's just not around, but she still holds down the fort. Like, she is a strong female character in a sense, but I also don't think she's the strongest female character. But I still liked her growth. It's all about growth. I liked it. You can still be a strong character and like a guy a lot. Number 9 is Jiraiya, because I didn't always like him, but there's something about him that I've always been kind of drawn to. But just like, he just seems this character who shouldn't care about anybody else but himself. But here he is taking care of those 3 orphans and Naruto, and like, you know, Naruto is named after Jiraiya's book. Number 8 is Gaara. Gaara deserves better, and I think we all know that. So, he has a really tragic backstory, and it always makes me cry every time I watch it, because it's just like, he never got to experience love. And the only person he got it from was Yashimaru and his mom's brother, and then his dad freaking turns him on Gaara, and I'm like, why would you do that? That's the only person who like truly loves him, because his siblings are afraid of him, and you treat him like a social pariah, as does the rest of the village, until he becomes the Kazekage. But it was just so sad. And then he like doesn't know what to do with all his pent-up rage, so he's like, well, I guess I just have to do everything for myself because everyone's trying to freaking kill me all the time. So I can understand why he's evil. he has a whole character change, like growth. It's the growth. The growth. He grew so much, and he was the beloved Kazekage, and the village came to his rescue, and like people sacrificed themselves for him. And he was the youngest, like general in the war arc. He like led his own, his own, what is that called? Battalion, section, sector, sectum sempra. No, he led a battalion. He's literally like 16 in that arc. I could be making that up. I don't know how old Naruto was, but think when they started, they were literally 12. So he is not that old. Kakashi's even like only 30, I think. He's 40 when he becomes the Hokage, so like at this point nobody is that old. Nobody has that long of a lifespan because everybody freaking dies all the time. You don't see that many old people in Naruto. There's a reason for that, I think. Number 7, Neji Hyuga. Hear me out. He started off as a really awful character and was really mean to everybody and thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, but he grows. Growth is the theme of the day. Growth, 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 growth. Everybody's out here growing now. Like my plants. Or unlike my plants because they haven't sprouted yet, but there's something about Neji that I always really liked, and I just wanted to be Neji at one point because he had the cool eyes, and I was like, I'll be like Neji. It's just like, and at the end, how he dies, it just hurt me so bad when Neji died. I cried for like 30 minutes. I love Neji because he's so awful at the beginning, but he's so rational, and as you like, you know, go through his whole arc, you understand why he is the way he is. It's all because of the childhood trauma and the growth from the childhood trauma. I almost dropped my phone off my lap and I caught it. Anyway, his dad got murdered in his twin brother's place because he was part of the head family, and there was the branch family, and he's part of the branch family, even though he's probably should be the rightful heir of the Hyuga clan because he's just better than Hinata and Hanabi. I'm sorry. He just is. Not because they suck, but because he's like a prodigy. But he just got born into the wrong family, and that's no one's fault. There was potential there, and he had to die young, and honestly, I think Neji had potential. No, he might not have had potential to be the Hokage. I was gonna say he would, but I think that would only be based on like a power standing rather than like care for the people around him. Because that's why Naruto makes a good Hokage, because he's powerful, but he also has so much care for literally everyone, and that's why Naruto's a great character, but not why he's not on this top 10 list. Number 6, Hinata Hyuga. I love Hinata. She is my favorite female character. She's not the highest female character on this list, but she is my favorite female character by far, because I relate to her. I related to her so much growing up, because backstory, I watched Naruto all growing up, and then in college I went and watched the whole entire series from the very first episode to the last of the 500 episodes in Shippuden, and then I continued on with Boruto. So I've been in this for a while, and Hinata when I was younger was just such a relatable character to me because I never talked. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be like, oh my gosh, I'm over here just being quiet, keeping to myself, and I'm like, Hinata and I are the same. But also she is super awesome. If you go, again, going through her backstory, she's not going to become the head of the family. She just wasn't as good as her sister, and that sucks. But she was like, I'm going to become a shinobi anyway, Dad. I'm going to go do something with my life and make you proud, hopefully one day. And she went and did it, and then married Naruto, and she even tries to take on Pain at one point, which honestly is probably out of her moveset. And she stood up for herself and Naruto and the whole freaking Leaf Village when they were battling Pain. And then she told Naruto she loved him, and that was such a beautiful moment, and I am not well. But I like Hinata also because she is the Byakugan, and let's be honest, that is the coolest Kekkei Genkai of the whole entire thing. That is reasonable, because the Rinnegan and whatever Sasuke has going on with the Sharingan and Rinnegan in his eyes is just unfair. Number 5 is Anko, because I love her, and because she is just like this comedic relief character, and was just kind of like how I was trying to be when I was Hinata. When I was feeling Hinata in her energy, I was like, I just want to be an Anko so bad, because Anko was always just like a loose cannon a little bit. I realize why I shouldn't want to be her, but in the tuning exams, she was by far one of my favorite characters. Anko is such a G, and she was Orochimaru's apprentice, but then came back to the Leaf Village, and I'm like, girl, you had the power to make that decision for yourself, even though you kind of loved Orochimaru and you're kind of jealous of whoever got his attention. But anyway, that's besides the point. You came back to the Leaf Village and it was fine. Next, number 4, Sasuke Uchiha, aka my first childhood crush. Ooh, gross. I guess I was in love with an anime boy, but so was every other girl. Everybody was in love with Sasuke. Don't even get me started. His character sucks for a long time because he's just going through all this angsty teen stuff. You have to remember, he's like literally somewhere in his teen formative years during all of this. His brother kills his whole entire family. Then he's like seeking power because he can't face him because he tried to, and he was like, you still don't have enough hate in your heart to fight me. And Sasuke was like, well, I'm gonna go get some. And he did. Thanks Itachi for nothing. So he went and joined Orochimaru, and then like it kind of left, I guess. He kind of left. He like took Suigetsu, Jugo, Karin. They go and become that little gang. They go off but then you're like, Sasuke, why don't you just go back to the freaking Leaf Village? But then he finds out that the freaking Leaf Village told his brother to kill his entire clan. So that puts him in a weird place because he's like, well, then he had a childhood trauma because his dad was always like, Sasuke, you're never gonna be as good as Itachi, even though his dad freaking loved him, but he never showed it. Good job. Sasuke had a lot to live up to, and he didn't live up to him, and now he has this vengeance against his brother, and they go through this whole backstory about, and Sasuke's confused because he never got to deal with any of his trauma, and his trauma just kept continuing, and everything he knew was a lie, and no one ever explained it to him, and it's not fair. He had all these people playing games with him, and everybody wanted his power and his eyeballs, which is kind of very threatening. And then even at the end, he feels like he hasn't atoned for his sins or whatever, and has to go on this long journey to figure out about the Otsutsuki clan, because they're from another planet and they keep popping into the Leaf Village or wherever they're around, and no one knows what to do with them. So he's on these recon missions, and he refuses to get his arm repaired. But I think he's just kind of being an emotional wreck, and then he's kind of being a sucky dad. But that's not my business. But he's trying to atone for everything that happened in his childhood, which I understand. But I also am like, dude, you really got fed a lot of wrong information, and that's not fair. So it's okay, we understand. Anyway, these 3 boys, oh my gosh, literally my whole entire heart. Number 3, Shikamaru Nara. I did not like Shikamaru growing up. He seemed so standoffish and annoying, and everything was a drag, but as an adult, I was like, I'm in love with him because he is me. And he's just so logical and rational, and I think he's the only one who didn't have any childhood trauma up to this point, besides his dad getting blown up during the war. But other than that, he didn't really have any childhood trauma. He was the only one who graduated the tuning exams. Whatever. He is awesome and has good rationalization skill. He's he just grew on me because he was just so sarcastic. He is hilarious, honestly. One of the best characters by far. He was so well written too. Just to be this brainiac who had no respect for the talent given to him. Yeah, and just seeing him also grow as the character, because we all like to grow here. Anyway, number 2, Kakashi Hatake. Oh my gosh, I also had a childhood crush on him. He is so cool. He is the coolest. And oh my gosh, I love him. He's just he also had childhood trauma. I think everybody on this list had childhood trauma, except, I don't know, Anko had a lot of childhood trauma, just kidding. But Kakashi is one of those characters who I was really curious about, but he always had this cool and collected persona, and I was like, that's also how I'm trying to be. And he just he is the character who is kind of a player and doesn't really want kids or a wife or a family, but then these kids get brought into his life and they're literally his whole entire world, and I'm like, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. But he's just like, he cares so much about everybody, and he didn't really get to show that when he was young because, you know, his dad killed himself, and then he accidentally killed somebody on his team because she ran in front of him because of this whole other thing with the three tails, and then the other guy from his team hated him even though they thought he was dead, but he wasn't. But anyway, he just like has a lot of trauma, and I don't know why I like him. I don't have a reason, but I think everybody likes him. Unless of course they don't. He was like the 6th Hokage. What a cool dude. I don't know, and it was always, he was a Kakashi of the Sharingan, the copy ninja. He was always played up as this huge like presence, and I was like, he is the presence, yes. And so anytime he was in action, I was like, I'm all here for it, even though he like clearly wasn't as powerful as they played him off to be. Oh my gosh, see, this is what I was talking about in the last video when I was like, I rambled about nothing. There was like no order, and I would keep jumping back and forth between characters. It was just bad. I'm like at the end of my list, and I don't have more to rant about on this character, but I think that he is a very important character to have because he always encourages his students, and he tried his hardest to like give Sasuke the attention and try to like give him the power that he wanted. In my opinion, he tried his best. He really tried to keep Sasuke around, but Sasuke just was already gone before he had even started it, and I think that really broke Kakashi's heart that Sasuke left the village, so I don't know. Anyway, moving on to my number 1 character, who everyone saw coming the whole entire time. Itachi Uchiha. He is, if anybody deserved better, it was freaking Itachi. Do not even get me started. Imagine being like 14 and having the mayor of your town be like, hey, I need you to kill your whole entire family for us, and be having to be like, yes. Because the only other option was no. And you know what that meant? That meant his clan was gonna start a war with the Leaf Village, and then there was gonna be a war because he said no. So he was like, okay, but I'm gonna leave my brother. And I really relate to that because I love my brother who is younger than me. And I would not kill my parents for him. Need you to kill your family because I'm the Hokage and I asked you to do it. They could have asked literally anybody else, but it had to be Itachi. Because the Uchiha clan was planning a coup on the Leaf Village because they thought they should be in power, but whatever. But then did he have to be so harsh about it to his brother? And I understand why he had to do it, because he wouldn't have understood any other way. And so Itachi had to be like, well, I guess Sasuke has to hate me now for his childhood. He has to like, 1, kill everyone he loves, which means he has to be exiled from the village, which means Sasuke is gonna hate him, because if Sasuke knew the truth, he wouldn't understand and would hate the Leaf Village. And there was just a lot of stuff, and he's literally 13. He'd literally just become a teenager, was not anywhere close to being done with his formative years, and they're like, hey, kill your family, leave the village. Or you can say no and we can have a war. Those are your 2 options. What do you even say to that? Nothing. So this boy has to deal with all of that trauma, and he still had a decent head on his shoulders. Like, even when he was in the Akatsuki, he didn't want to, like, go to war with anybody. Like, he just didn't care. I think if he could have just not done that, he would have. Itachi's loyalty to the Leaf Village, because they were like, kill your whole family and then leave. Which I guess they didn't even afford him any protections because he was in the bingo book. So I'm like, what? You asked him to do this, and then you let him live a life of crime. But I do think it was so tragic that he like had to leave his brother behind. He was like, on one condition, that you literally just protect my brother, and that's all you have to do. Which the Leaf Village could not even do, because he still ended up in Orochimaru's hands. He just got dealt a bad hand, man. Like, he had to literally throw away everything that he had ever known for the sake of this village. Which, I don't know, but they never go into the loyalty that he has towards the village. But anyway, Itachi's my favorite character because eventually we get that explained. And Sasuke has to go through this whole thing where he was like, I could have literally had like family my whole entire life. Like, even if it was just Itachi, he was like, at the end it doesn't even seem like Sasuke blames Itachi for any of it, because he just blames the League villains for it, which is neither here nor there. But he just is like, I could have had family my whole entire life, and now that I'm finding all this out, Itachi's dying. What? These two characters' most treasured backstory, my favorite backstory ever. But I just think Itachi deserves better, and he will always carry a special place in my heart. And I didn't know it when I was younger because I hadn't seen these episodes, and I don't think they were out here yet. But I thought I hated Itachi when I was little because I didn't know him. And now that I know him, I love him. But anyway, thank you for coming to my Naruto show. I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure did. Oh my gosh, I look so ridiculous. But thanks for coming back to my channel. Happy Vlogust Day 15. Like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe your top 10 list of Naruto characters if you watch Naruto. But I hope you have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.